So picture this. You're playing a game that's got Cowboys, Outlaws, shootouts, and a very large emphasis on stealth. You're like, okay, Mikkel, what are you playing, right? Well, so this is a game that I have no familiarity with the series at all. It's a game called Desperados III, and it's the fourth entry. I know it's Desperados 3, but it's the fourth entry in the series because in 2007 there was a game called Eldorado, which was it was like a side game or a guide-in type game. Anyway, that's not the point. So this game is an RTS, or real-time, actually more of an RTT, which is a real-time tactics style game. So you're not limited to how many moves you can make or anything like that. You can control, with analog stick, move around, do various things, and you got your various cooldowns and abilities and stuff like that. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and spoil the game. This is one of the best games of 2020. I know I typically say that about almost every game I play, but you guys know I only like reviewing games that I personally know that I'm going to enjoy. This was actually a surprise because I wasn't sure that I was actually going to enjoy this game. But Desperados 3 is a game you need. And honestly, I want to give a special thank you and shout out to THQ Nordic and Mimi Games for giving me the opportunity to review this. So, that being said, is Desperados 3 a game that you might enjoy? Even though I've already said you need this game. I know I'm playing my pun of words, but we're going to go ahead and get into that. So, with that being said, guys, I'm Mikkel Casanova. I'm a Hawaii content creator, host of Hawaii's #1 podcast, the Casanova Podcast, and also I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday on twitch.tv/Mikkel Casanova. The information's right down there. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this review, and yippee-ki-yay. Let's mosey on into it. Throw the intro. The story of Desperado 3 is set before the events of Desperados Wanted, Dead or Alive, and explores the origins of series protagonist John Cooper. We follow Cooper as he tracks down notorious bandit leader Frank, the killer of his father James Cooper, and along the way he runs into Dr. McCoy, who's hired by the DeVette Company, Hector Mendoza, Isabella Morale, and Kate O'Hara as you travel all over the 1870s Wild West and seek revenge and justice. The way this game plays is pretty unique, as from first inspection and based on the point of view, the isometric point of view, with how the camera is pulled back, you'd assume that it would be a typical RTS or real-time strategy game, where you move only so far and then so many moves, and then from there select another unit and then rinse and repeat. That is where things in Desperados 3 is significantly different from the typical RTS genre. Desperados 3 plays out in a way that you can move around with your main character Cooper and his band of outlaws, including Dr. McCoy, Hector, and Kate O'Hara. Where the game differs from the traditional RTS is that it incorporates a lot of real-time actions with you using the left analog stick to move, and your characters are able to move about the environment freely. So there's no restrictions when it comes to how far you can go or how many moves. It's all in real time based on who you're controlling at that moment. And the game's biggest thing is about moving your character around the environment and positioning your camera and best positioning yourself to be able to survey the map, which plays into the game's biggest aspect, being stealth. This game borrows some elements from other games such as Shadow Tactics and, more famously, Metal Gear Solid, with how enemies have their patrol routes and vision cones of where they're looking and have their own patrol routes, and you can do certain things to draw their attention, which will lead to them asking, "Did you hear that?" or "What was that noise?" which was a callback to the Metal Gear Solid franchise. The game's biggest aspect is its focus on stealth and how you approach each level and its objectives. You have levels that will either have you in the midst of a town with civilians that you have to navigate through and or kill, that's completely up to you, while making your way to your goal, or on a map with nothing but enemies requiring you to use stealth in the environment to move about. You can turn off lamps, throw fires on oil spills to burn up enemies, push boulders on them, and so much more. Each character has unique abilities that you can use to both get to your objective and take out enemies along the way. For instance, Cooper has the ability to toss a coin that has a radius effect of creating noise and drawing attention to where you throw it, along with being able to use his 6 shooters to shoot 2 different enemies at once. Dr. McCoy can throw his bag that shoots out a stunning gas, allowing you to sneak up on an enemy and take them out, while he has the other ability that allows him to use a sniper rifle to take out enemies from afar. Hector has a bear trap named Bianca that he uses to instantly kill most enemies, of which you can use his whistling ability in conjunction with that, since the whistling ability has a large radius to draw enemies to that exact area where he whistled, and by proxy you can draw them into the bear trap. Kate can throw perfume, which will stun enemies temporarily and blind them, and she also has the ability of changing outfits to suit the area she's in to sneak about and go undetected, as well as the ability to flirt with enemies to distract them from the others so that, you know, Cooper and the rest of the gang can sneak by. Abilities all have cooldowns and will require you to wait a few seconds to use again, such as the coin toss and whistle, while other items will have both cooldown and limited usages, such as Cooper's 6 shooters and Hector's sawed-off shotgun and the like. These abilities can be replenished at specific chests that you find on the map, so definitely seek out more in your environments. I should mention that you will be restarting missions many times, and you're probably asking why, and the reason for that is because every point of progression that you make, including every minor one, will have the game prompting you to quick save so that you can pick back up wherever you mess up, or if you'd like to take a different route, or if you just want to start all over from where you last quick saved. Now, many may view the constant prompts and saving and reloading as immersion breaking from the game, but I personally am not bothered by it, as it keeps me reminded that this is a video game, which is something a lot of games, especially in modern day, they really don't do anymore. And I like that. I like the idea that I'm playing a video game. Graphically, the game looks amazing with a lot of attention to detail in the environments and more. You're not given close-ups of the characters, as the camera perspective is kept at a slanted isometric overhead view. However, even with that, it's still a beauty to look at. Towns are all well designed and incredibly lively, with various people, critters, and more populating various missions that you undertake. River, rapids, and the nature environments all come alive. And honestly, even with explosions, rain, gunshots, fire, and the motion of water, they all look incredibly just detailed and realistic. And also the ragdoll physics of how enemies, NPCs, and the player characters die or react to attacks is phenomenal, to say the least. Train buildings and more all have a great look with the Unity engine, and they just, they look good, and especially the enemies, from the normal enemies, the long coats, and more. And the main cast, from Cooper to O'Hara, are all unique in their looks and stand out from the rest of the NPCs and main cast of enemies, yet perfectly blend into the world of the old Wild West. The Unity engine truly shines in this game and shows what it can do, as well as the craftsmanship of the team that made the game. Now, when it comes to sound, this game has that good old time at the corral Western feel to it. The voice acting is top notch, with each character having good Southern cowboyish drawls with perfect timing and cadence with their deliveries. When it comes to the music for each level, it all fits with the Western sound that gets you in the mood to mosey on down and quick draw on some Outlaws. Environmental ambience is really well done as well, with sounds of wind, rain, water, fire crackles, explosions, animals, and more, all well done and bring you into the world. And honestly, there's not really a lot to speak about here, as it's all just good. Now, as far as the downsides, so what's the downsides of Desperados 3? Well, the enemy AI can be incredibly dumb at times, with certain things that you do to either draw them to you or away from you are either hit or miss. Sometimes when sneaking, the enemies won't see you when they are directly above you, and in other times they will see you from a mile away and immediately put your enemies in alert mode. Due to the inconsistencies of the enemy AI, a lot of the levels can either be incredibly short or incredibly long, and no matter how you play it, the enemy AI can either be fun to contend with or a true nightmare. It's one of those two. The other downside that's more of a nitpick than actually a legit downside is the fact that there's no online co-op or local co-op for this game. I think Desperados 3 would benefit greatly from a co-op feature, because with how big the maps are and with all you have to do to coordinate between your various characters, I think it would be really, really cool to have them be able to be controlled by a friend or someone else online. Like, it would just be a lot of fun to play this in multiplayer. But again, I said this is a minor quibble that I have. But other than that, you know, getting to the wrap up, I came into Desperados 3 with very low expectations and not thinking I'd ever enjoy the game, because from what I saw of the trailers, it didn't seem like it was much fun or really my cup of tea. However, once I had hands-on with the game and had time with the characters and the world, I couldn't put it down. From the engaging story of revenge to a lovable cast of characters to addictingly great gameplay and ambience, you simply cannot go wrong if you decided to pick up Desperados 3. And your time with this game will have you wanting to go back and play Desperados 1 and 2, as well as Hell Dorado. 2020 has seen a lot of must-own games, and in my top 10 games of 2020, Desperados 3 is in that tier list and is a game you need in your collection. Don't sleep on this gem. Oh, and y'all come back now, you hear? And with that being said, that's the review for Desperados 3. Again, I want to thank THQ Nordic and Me Games for allowing me the opportunity to review this title. Truly is amazing. I really enjoyed it. It was a surprise. I think this is going to be one of the sleeper hits of the year. This is one that I definitely think that you guys shouldn't sleep on. I think if you get the opportunity to play this, or if you see it, I think you should pick it up. This is not a game I'm going to say wait for a sale or anything like this. I think this is a game, if you like real-time strategy games or real-time tactics style games, and if you like the Old West and you like a very engaging narrative hook, then I think you would like to hop in. And don't be dissuaded by the 3 in a title. I know a lot of people, when they see a numeric value to an entry in the game, they think, oh, I need to go play the other ones to understand what's going on. You don't have to do that with this one, because basically Desperados 3 it's a prequel to the first game. This is basically a Genesis story of how the whole world came to be. You know, how the story of John Cooper came to be. You know, how James Cooper died and going on. Like, this is a good starting point for new fans, and I hope you guys, you know, check it out. I hope you guys enjoy it. And with that being said, that's it. I want to know, did you guys pick it up? If you enjoyed it, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, let's get the conversation going down below. I'm very curious to know what your thoughts are. And other than that being said, that's the review for Desperados 3. Hey, I want to take a moment right now and thank all my patrons, all my channel members, and all my Twitch subs, because you guys are what keep the show going. I greatly appreciate the community we have here, because you guys are freaking awesome, and I'm very blessed to have you guys. And if any of you who are new, if you haven't subbed to the channel here on YouTube or followed me on Twitch, or you're not a patron, if you're considering it, or if if it's on your heart to do so, hey, links are all down in the description below. And whatever you do, I'm very much grateful. Even if it's just watching the videos, if it's hitting the like button, I'm very grateful for that too. So with that being said, I thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a blessed day. And other than that, have a great one. Deuces wild, too sweet, be the elite. And I'll see you on the next one. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. And since you made it here, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video if you enjoyed it. You can always check out MikhailCasanova.com. If you want to support the content, we've got Patreon, as well as channel memberships and super chats. And with that being said, this is Mikhail Casanova. I enjoy you guys. I hope you have a great one. Mahalo, and see you next time.